What up, y'all? It's me again, and I'm back. Shout out to TLC. But yeah, this is one of them now or never type videos where it's like I am too lazy to even set up to sit in the correct spot. So if I don't record it right now where I'm sitting, it's gonna take me some days to get it out there. But this is also one of those topics where I've been I was looking on Twitter, and I have been I've been mentioning this topic for at least 10 years, 10, 11 years, as far as men's attraction to, or this weird obsession, or this weird attraction, I'm going to say, to studs or butch, women, or the D word that, I am only censoring myself from saying because it was literally like 58 seconds within the video. So, trying not to curse or say any type of mean words within the first minute at the very least. But, this has been a topic that, as I was pretty much saying, that I've been discussing for some time, or at least I've had these thoughts for the past 10, 11 years from now. Well, not from now, past 10, 11 years, right? I'm probably still going to have the same thoughts because I just think it's weird, this behavior I've seen many men, not all of us, but many men have toward stud women or butch women, right? There's this video that went viral that I saw the other day, right? Some of y'all are probably recognizing which video I'm talking about based off of the thumbnail. I normally would include said video that I'm referencing in this video or my own video and then respond to it. But I feel like he's one of these alpha dudes who gets very much emotionally he reacts very much emotionally, very be-made type of emotional, where if you were to disagree with him, or like honestly, I feel as though if he were to see this video, even without me including his video clips in this video, he might still try to strike the video down, strike the channel, all this other stuff. He's gonna respond in an emotional, petty way, based off of what I believe for him to be. And because I've seen him and, well, yeah, him, but like all the other supposed alpha dudes out there respond in a bitch made way. You know what I'm saying? We 3 minutes in, so I could cuss now. But respond in a way where, again, when you give them any type of pushback for the things that they say, any type of disagreement, right? They respond in that type of way. And I was like, you know what? Let me just... I think the thumbnail is hilarious, and therefore I'm going to use that screen capture as a thumbnail, But as far as including a video, I'll do him a solid and leave the video in the description box. And if you want to know which video I'm referencing, excuse me, you can go watch his video. But this is much bigger than just me responding to him, because again, this attraction to these lesbian women who clearly aren't attracted to men, right? Is something that I've noticed in a lot of men, especially again for the past decade or so. A lot of the dudes I was hanging around with, not everyone, but a few. I won't even say a lot. Like a few, though. I've had this conversation with men multiple times before, and I've had these same points that I'm going to be making in this video. I've made these points before as well. And like I said, it's a weird attraction. It's a weird obsession, as the title hints at as well, because this becomes more of... because of the behavior, from what I see. I'm not saying that men who are attracted to anything or anybody, right, that I'm not attracted to or don't find physically or sexually attractive are weird, right? That's how these men will behave, though. They will, because, oh, I'm not gay, so if a man likes a man, that's weird. Or, I don't like trans women, so if a man is attracted to trans women and he's basically attracted to men, that's weird. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think it's very much ironic that these would be the same type of dudes who will make homophobic, queerphobic type statements like that, and yet they are attracted to women who make it their purpose to make themselves not only look as masculine as possible as they can possibly be, but also try to emulate what they deem as masculinity, right? They do everything in their power to be as masculine as possible. They don't want to be feminine. They don't want to be viewed as someone like your, I guess, your typical woman. They don't want to be viewed as a feminine individual, right? They don't want any type of feminine traits about them, all right? They don't mind if you call them bro. It validates what they want. They don't mind if you call them, any type of if you address them like how you would address one of your boys or any other male out there, or whatever the case is, right? Some of them might get offended if you call them sir, right? Because they're like, oh no, now you're just, they can read between lines and stuff, right? And I'm not I'm not a stud or whatever, right? So you gotta obviously go to them for the answers for these things. I'm just going based off of what I've observed and all this other stuff, making assumptions. I will make that abundantly clear. I'm making assumptions here, and you know what happens when you assume. So I will admit to doing that. But as far as just what these women are doing, to me it's abundantly clear, not just based off of what I observed, but from the butch queens that I know, the studs that I personally know, the studs that I've seen, that I've grown up around, the studs that I continue to interact with, right? It's clear that they are trying to take on a persona of someone with very masculine, very high masculine traits, right? That typically is a man. So with that being said, they're trying to, take on the persona of a man. So when a man like this alpha man out here, and all the other men out here who share his same sentiments or share his same attraction to to studs, right? When they're out here being homophobic, I always find it funny that not all of them, again, but you will have ones like them who will then go around and express attraction to a woman who is essentially being a man. And to me, it's a couple of things. And when I say it's a couple of things, I'm talking about the men in the situation, the actual men, right? In this situation, right? Or the biological, let me just put it that way, the biological men, right? The ones who are attracted to the studs who want to be viewed like the way men are viewed, right? Think it's a couple of things. Number one, I think it's probably I'm probably saying the same thing, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Number one, I think a lot of these dudes are attracted to masculinity. Like they find masculinity to be sexually attractive, right? They're turned on by it. And, well, as I just went on my little 8-minute spew before this, 7-minute spew or so before this, masculinity is typically assigned to men, right? So if you were to stay with me, stick with me, y'all, but not stay with me. If you were to think about masculinity, right? You're thinking more so of a man. So if these men are attracted to masculinity, one will assume that they're attracted to men. They would assume that means that they are attracted to men as well. right? And because they want to walk around either being homophobic, maybe because they truly are attracted to men, but they're ashamed to say that, which that kind of is my second point, but I'll get to there when I get there. You know what I'm saying? If you've been here long enough, you already know what it is. But that could be one side of it, but also it could be the fact that they don't physically find men attractive, but the whole aspect of someone being masculine, they still find that attractive, right? Whether it's, coming from a woman or from a man, or from a person. Let me just put it that way. Let me just take the titles out, the character titles out, whatever. When they see masculinity, they also are turned on by it. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm sorry. It's kind of being childish, but I seriously don't care what the hell you like or find attractive, but just be honest with yourself. And stop bullying other people who are honest with themselves, or at least trying to discover themselves, and you out here trying to shame them for at least being brave enough to A, be brave themselves, or B, be honest with themselves to say, I want to discover this side, or I want to, or they're working through some things, whereas you acting like you got everything figured out, and I'm looking at you like, bro, you like studs. You're gay. Like, just say that, my nigga. But anyways, in all honesty, I think that's part of the equation. Is a lot of these guys are attracted to masculinity, right? It's also side tangent, but kind of not a side tangent. It's also a lot of reason why a lot of these dudes, especially the alpha dudes, like to surround themselves by supposed alpha dudes, or they like to watch content from these supposed alpha dudes. It's because they're attracted to that. Now, I am not, when I say attracted to that, I'm not saying that every single one of these people or these dudes who are attracted to that want to have some type of sexual or romantic involvement with these alpha dudes. I'm just saying that they like to be around that energy. Whether that means sexually or otherwise, attraction simply just means. Alright, as you can see, I am outside. This is a different day, different location. This is exactly why going forward, y'all gonna see me outside more, because recording indoors is just unfortunately not as private as it once was, but as I was saying, I don't even remember. I still have the first part, as you can obviously see from the video. I still have that first part recorded, but I didn't go back to pretty much revisit what I was saying. I believe the last point I was making, I'm just going to reiterate here again, and then go forth with the rest of the video, of course. So pretty much what I was saying was, or what I am saying is, there are two things or mindsets about these men who, the type of men that I'm talking about in this video. One are the men, as I was stating before, who are attracted to masculinity, right? I mean, attracted, like they find attraction in every sense of the word of attraction. However it may show up with them. It could be a sexual attraction. It could be just an admiration that has nothing to do with being sexually attracted to masculinity, right? But nonetheless, they have that attraction to it, and therefore, because that attraction, or not that attraction, but pretty much, that attraction is attributed to liking men, but the trait of masculinity is attributed to, again, us men, the male species, whatever you want to call us, right? I know there are other names, ungodly names people would have for us, but, those are not names I'm going to say here. But because those traits are typically are said about men, these men who have this attraction that I'm speaking of, they obviously, and I keep saying obviously, it might not be obvious, but they have an insecurity that I notice. It might not be obvious to you, but I've noticed there's an insecurity about them and admitting said attraction to, again, just masculinity in general, because it's attributed to, again, liking men, or in their mind it's the idea of if they find any type of masculine behavior, or even, let's just say, the look of masculinity to be attractive. And then again, in their mind and the people around them also, they're telling them like, you like men. Now I think that the other aspect of it, from what I noticed, once again, is that's the truth. Not for all of them, but for a number of them, they actually are attracted to men, but they just don't want to admit it, for the very same reasons as to why those who might not be attracted to men but are still attracted to masculinity, right? For those very same reasons why those type of men will not want to admit to it. Now, I already know there are going to be people who watch this, don't even listen, but watch this and say, "Oh, you're blowing this up. You're making it seem, harder, bigger than it really is," or they're gonna label me gay because I don't find studs attractive, right? These be the same dudes who will also argue, because I know those comments. If had I not made that point, and it still might comment that, but those comments are still going to be in this video where it's like, "Oh, they're women, so I like women, and so I don't care if they studs or not." And I'm calling bull on that, because this whole aspect of you just like women and you don't care about the type of women, and if you see a woman you're going to want to stick your dick in her. I think I'm calling bull on that, because when you see fat women, or women that you deem or heavyset women, or whatever the term is, but a lot of these same dudes will talk about how they don't like fat women who, even if they look feminine, right? Fat women who, even if they don't dress feminine and stuff, it's still an issue to them of the fact that they're not attracted to those women. So if you're gonna say something like, "Oh, I like women in general, so yeah, I don't care if she dresses like a dude, or she dresses like a lady. If I think she's attractive and she's a woman, then I'm gonna want to fuck," right? And again, my argument is, you don't say that about the fat women. This whole "I just like girls," or "I just like all women." Fat women are women too. I don't mean to sound disrespectful. A heavy-set women, overweight women, whatever the politically correct term is, because we're not talking about them. We're not talking badly about them, right? But they're women too. So if you truly was somebody who was attracted to all women, or whatever the case is you say, then you would be hitting on them too, right? But you don't, because you don't find them attractive. So this whole argument, once again, about, I just find women attractive in general, no matter what they look like, their sexual preference, I'm just attracted to women. That might be part of who you are sexually attracted to, but again, I think there's another side of it that you're just not admitting to, for those who this is applicable for. Not saying this is applicable for every guy, but there are the dudes out there who are just super weird about studs, and I'm like, I think you're weird about them because of, again, the two reasons I just gave off. And for those who want to follow along, or whatever the case is, number one, like I said, they're attracted to masculinity. That's your thing. It is what it is. We're not judging. I'm not judging anybody for whoever they're attracted to. I'm making this video though because, and the title is what it is, because I've seen a weird behavioral mindset when it comes to them. Again, the dude that I'm referencing the video that you will find in the description box below, I think his behavior is really weird. But I've seen weirder behavior, and I get it. He's sending some type of message about, in the video, his video per se, he's talking about how he wants women who are, these feminine women to stop, messing up their faces or with these makeup and chemicals and eyelash. Like, he's one of those dudes. Like, he's against all of that. To each its own. It is what it is. We're not going to argue against that either. But I've seen dudes, and again, as I noted at the beginning, the first part of this video, I've interacted with dudes that I know, right? Grown up with and everything, right? Peers and all that, who just are very much weird when it comes to studs. It's obvious these women are not attracted to men. And yet they will try to coerce these women, or they take pride in, oh, I got this stud's number, or we ended up having sex, or we ended up, all this other stuff, right? And it's like, to me, as with every, woman, again, I'm not attracted to studs, but every interaction I have, it's like, I feel better as a man if it's not to say that I don't, try to holler or whatever. If I holler or, make a move and it's reciprocated, that's great. I feel better about that than, trying to coerce. That's not my thing. Trying to coerce anybody to try to get with me in some whatever manner, whether it be romantically or just for the night, go on a date, give me the number. It is what it is. I've never been that type of dude that was thirsty over a woman that, I deem attractive, or just any woman in general. For all I just like women, and I'm not gay because I like women, and you clearly are gay because you don't find studs attractive. And again, we debunked that whole idea because you don't find fat women attractive. Fat women are women as well, and you don't find them attractive. So how is it that I'm the problem? Because, or, there's something wrong with me, right? Because I don't think women who dress and act like men are attractive, but you don't think women who dress and act like women but happen to have a lot more fat than, let's just say, the average woman or whatever the case is, you don't think they're attractive. They look like a woman still, they dress like a woman, they even sound like a woman. Their voice is not deep like the stud's voice. They're not wearing masculine clothes. They're not having a masculine persona like the stud will present themselves to be. And yet I'm the issue. I have an issue because I'm not attracted to that. I'm not attracted to men who represent that masculine side, that masculine. It is what it is if y'all are attracted to that. But I'm speaking about me. I'm not attracted to men or women who portray that. And yet, because I say I'm not attracted to women who are masculine, I'm gay, but whatever. As I've stated, the weird thing about it is when they record themselves hollering at these studs, and these studs are clearly annoyed, uncomfortable. And I want to say this because a lot of you same dudes will get upset when you all have stories, and I've seen this happen as well, where if, a gay dude were to try to press you the same way y'all be pressing these studs, then it's an issue. Then it's a problem. Then you understand the importance of no meaning no. Then you understand how weird it is for other people to try to, force you to do something or whatever the case is that you really don't want to do, or to be somebody that you don't want to be just to fit their little fantasy. Now, then you understand it. But when it comes to you and studs, it's a whole different story. And that's the weird aspect about it, is what I'm saying. That's the weird part about it. You can be attracted to whoever you want to be attracted to. Just be normal about it. If you find them attractive and, they reject you and they're like, nah, I'm not into men, back off. To me, it was obvious, but you still want to shoot your shot, shoot it. Whatever the case is, the ball is in your hand, you do whatever you want with the ball. But don't start, pressing harder and harder and harder, because you're not going to find every single stud that's going to be like, okay, fine, and then give you their number and all this other stuff. If you find one, cool. I don't care about you and your relations. This is just my opinion on just something that I've noticed is weird. It's weird behavior that I've seen dudes have. And then again, you all will argue against me. Oh, well, they're women too. And again, I just presented to you an argument that you all can't even back up. Unless you're attracted to heavier set women as well. What about fat women? Fat women are feminine. They are women as well. And yet this whole idea of you saying things like, well, they're women and I just like women, so I don't care how she dressed and how she looked. Well, you clearly do. You clearly do have a type. You just don't want to admit that your type, or part of your type, is you find masculinity to be attractive. That's what you don't want to admit to. And I think the whole sex part about it is, if a dude's going to be like, oh, if I'm gay, how come I'm having sex with, a woman? I think that a lot of people who are still in the closet obviously have sex with the opposite sex. And I think to these men, having sex with studs is not because they just like the feeling of vagina. Again, heavier set women have the same body part, right? Have the same sexual organs. So, and you're not having sex with them for the feeling or anything because you're not attracted to them. Again, not trying to say you should be. You like whoever you want to like, but I think it's deeper than just your love of vagina or your supposed love of vagina. It's this idea of you get to have sexual intercourse with somebody masculine, but they have a vagina, so you can fall back on, well, I'm not gay because this person who is masculine has a vagina. And this discussion really can start an entire different just discussion about just what is, I guess, sexuality and all this other stuff to begin with. I know these are discussions people have already had. Probably not a lot, but people have already had in the past. I'm not trying to just start that discussion, at least in this video. If that is something you would want me to, talk about, delve deeper into, whatever the case is. But just know that, clock your T. No, but for real, just know that these are just my thoughts on stuff. At the end of the day, I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care what you into, what you got going on. Just stop being weird. And that's the whole basis. If you don't take away anything else from this video, it's to stop being weird. Stop being weird about your sexual preferences. Stop being weird about other people's lifestyle choices, whether you agree with them or not. Stop being weird in general. If a woman or a man or anybody tells you, no, I'm not into you, or I'm not into that in general, stop trying to think you could just force them into it. And even if they are into, your gender, your whatever, if they say no, it's still a no. So, yeah. And all you dudes who are trying to, like the gentleman, and I use that term just to be nice, but like the dude that's in the video that I am responding to without having his video in my video. Again, y'all like natural women, cool, so do I, but I don't go around trying to shame women for not being natural, and all this other stuff, because there are natural women out there without that lashes and makeup and all this other stuff. Y'all just surrounded by what you don't attract, what you're not attracted to, and which, it happens, but at the same time, you can still, what are you doing about it? Are you making moves to go places? Or are you just on the internet crying in videos in your car? Alright, man. I'm out of here. Y'all, take care.